Americans turn on Ukraine? Washington Post says Biden asks Zelinsky of Ukraine to be open to talks with Russia. Obviously, peace talks. Russia is not backing down at the same time that the bill in Ukraine is mounting up for Washington. In a major development, the Joe Biden administration is privately encouraging Ukrainian political leadership to show it is open to negotiations with Russia and to back off its public refusal to hold peace talks unless Russian President Vladimir Putin first steps down. Putin, the Washington Post reported yesterday, Saturday, Ukraine fatigue is a real issue for some of our partners, an unnamed U.S. official admitted to the paper. Ukraine fatigue is a real issue. Of course, the most important thing is that Russia wants to talk, which with a long-term goal had taken a position and had given orders for a marathon and not a sprint as they thought in the West. Moscow seems to have been waiting for any development both on sanctions and on the ground, and most importantly, it seems to see that the West has no appetite to enter a protracted struggle that could end up with yet another $1 trillion debt in Zelinsky's eyes, and the expected electoral defeat in the midterm elections, which is just 2 days away. Today is the 6th, the elections are on the 8th. Midterm elections make Biden essentially announce to him that he should probably not expect to see again those amounts and aid materials he received and with which he again failed to overturn the Russian victories at the same time that the Russian armed forces are constantly integrating troops and renewing material without having any economic woes where they're reeling from inflation like Western states are doing. Now, citing sources familiar with the matter, whom it did not name, the newspaper, Washington Post, explained that the American exhortation is not intended to force the Ukrainian government to sit at the negotiation table. Rather, it's a calculated move aimed at Ukrainian government in Kiev maintaining the support of other countries where public opinion worries that it is fueling the conflict that will last for years. As always, the talks show how complicated the Biden administration's position is on Ukraine. Publicly, the U.S. officials have pledged that Washington will continue to provide huge sums of money to get military equipment to Kiev for as long as it takes, quote unquote, but at the same time, the U.S. government would like to see the war come to an end as it has caused so much damage to the world economy while it has fueled fears of the use of nuclear weapons. The Post also noted that U.S. officials share the assessment of their Ukrainian counterparts that Mr. Putin is not currently seriously considering negotiating, but acknowledge that Vladimir Zelinsky's refusal to even talk with him has heightened concerns in European countries, of African countries and Latin America, which are most affected by rising food and fuel costs. The White House National Security Council and the State Department did not immediately respond to Reuters asking them to comment on the paper's report. The National Security Advisor of the U.S. Presidency, Jake Sullivan, assured during his visit to Kiev in Ukraine on Friday that U.S. support to Ukraine will continue regardless of the outcome of the midterm elections held the day after tomorrow, Tuesday, that is. Well, we'll see about that, won't we? This is from Pro News, a Greek article I've translated for you. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.